The Galactic Council Hall floated in open space, far from any single star. It was built that way on purpose. No world could claim it. No species could say it belonged to them. The hall was round and vast, larger than mountains, yet smooth and quiet like still water. Soft light moved along the walls. It did not come from lamps or suns. It came from the structure itself. The light changed color as languages passed through it. Sounds became meaning. Meaning became thought. This was where the galaxy made decisions. Hundreds of council members were present. Some were tall and thin, with bodies like living glass. Others were wide and heavy, their skin rough like stone. Some floated without shape, held together by fields of energy. A few were machines, ancient minds inside metal shells. They had seen many species rise. They had seen many species fall. To them, time moved slowly. A low tone filled the hall. "The session will resume," said the speaker. The speaker was not a single being. It was a role. Today it was held by a creature of pale light, shaped like a tall flame frozen in place. When it spoke, every translator activated at once. "Next matter," the speaker said. "Species designation review." A pause followed. Origin system, Sol. Origin world, third planet, local name, Earth. A blue world appeared in the center of the hall. It turned slowly, clouds drifting across oceans. Lines of data wrapped around it like thin rings. "Species name," the speaker continued, "humans." Some council members leaned forward. Others showed no reaction at all. Humans were new, but not unnoticed. A being with 6 long limbs and dark eyes studied the image. "This is the species that entered council space without permission," it said. "They did not know the borders," replied another counselor, its voice low and slow. "They discovered faster-than-light travel by accident." "Accident or not," said the 6-limbed one, "they crossed 3 protected zones before first contact." The image shifted. Human ships appeared, blocky, uneven, built for function, not beauty. "They should not have worked," said a machine mind. "Efficiency rating is low, error tolerance is high." Another counselor gave a sound like dry wind. "High error tolerance is not a virtue." "It is for survival," the machine mind replied. The speaker raised a limb of light. "The review will proceed." New images appeared. Earth's history unfolded. Ice ages, fires, storms. Early humans running across plains, building shelters, losing them. Wars followed, cities burned, borders changed. Plagues swept the planet, billions died. Then numbers rose again. The 6-limbed counselor tilted its head. "They harm themselves more than any outside force." "And yet they continue," said the machine mind. Charts appeared: population crashes, recoveries, environmental damage, partial repair. "They poison their own air," said a crystal-skinned counselor. "They heat their world, they cut down forests." "And still adapt," the machine mind said. The speaker watched silently. "They survived nuclear weapons," another counselor said. "They used them on themselves." A murmur passed through the hall. "They came close to extinction," said the 6-limbed one, "more than once." "Yes," replied the speaker, "and yet they stand here now." The image zoomed out. Human colonies appeared, small settlements on moons and planets. Some failed, some survived. "Persistence level?" asked the speaker. "High," said the machine mind, "above expected range." "Threat level?" "Low to moderate. No unified aggression beyond home system." The speaker nodded slowly. "The proposed classification is ready," it said. Words formed in the air. Class V, persistence organism. More data followed. Highly adaptable. Thrives in damaged environments. Survives extreme loss. Limited refinement. Minimal long-term concern. In human translation systems, one word replaced the long description. Cockroach. Across Earth, the broadcast spread. In homes, people paused their work. In ships, crews fell silent. In cities, screens lit up. Many did not understand the full meaning. They understood the word. In New York City, in a room overlooking the ocean, Ambassador Elaine Carter watched the live feed. She stood straight, hands at her sides. Her dark uniform was simple. No medals, no rank symbols. She listened. Behind her, aides whispered, "Did they just? They can't be serious." Elaine raised her hand. The room went quiet. Back in the council hall, the speaker turned toward the human platform. It was plain, metal and glass, no floating lights, no living walls. "Earth delegation," the speaker said. "Do you accept this designation?" Elaine stepped forward. She was small compared to most beings in the hall. She did not glow. She did not float. She did not project power. She spoke anyway. "Ambassador Elaine Carter," she said, "representative of Earth." Her voice carried clearly. "Humanity does not accept this classification." The hall reacted. Some counselors showed surprise. Others showed annoyance. "The designation is factual," said the six-limbed counselor. "It is not an insult." Elaine nodded once. "Accuracy matters to us." She raised her wrist. Human data appeared beside the council's display. "Our request is simple," she said. "We ask for a recount." Silence followed. "A recount," repeated the speaker. "Yes," Elaine said, "of your data and conclusions." "This is not standard procedure," said a tall counselor with skin like glass. "Neither was broadcasting your judgment to our entire planet," Elaine replied. The glass-skinned counselor made a sharp sound. "The machine mind spoke. Your survival matches known pest species." Elaine looked at it calmly. "We survive because we choose to." Murmurs spread. "You judge us by outcomes," she continued. "Not by effort, not by cost." The six-limbed counselor leaned forward. "Explain." Elaine took a breath. "On Earth, nothing is given. Life fights us from the moment we are born. Storms, disease, hunger, each other." Images shifted to human disasters. Floods, fires, ruins. "We rebuild," Elaine said, "every time." The speaker watched carefully. "You see chaos," Elaine said. "We see training." The machine mind paused. "The council will consider your request," the speaker said at last. Elaine inclined her head. "Thank you." She turned to leave. "One question," said the glass-skinned counselor. Elaine stopped. "If humans are not pests," it asked, "what are you?" Elaine looked back. "We are the species that stayed," she said. She left the platform. Across the galaxy, the moment spread. Some laughed. Some dismissed it. On Earth, the reaction was different. People talked, shared clips, argued. At first, anger burned. Then humor followed. Memes spread, old jokes returned. In factories and farms, in ships and labs, one idea took shape. They think we are hard to kill. In the council hall, the session ended. "Classification stands until review," the speaker announced. But not all minds moved on. The machine mind ran deeper calculations. The six-limbed counselor felt unease. Far away, human ships adjusted their paths. No weapons were raised. But something had started. And the galaxy did not yet understand what it had named. The council hall emptied slowly after the session ended. Lights dimmed as members disconnected from the shared space. Some left at once, their interest already moving to other matters. Others stayed behind, watching the empty space where Earth's image had been. The classification still hung in the air. Class V, persistent organism. Cockroach. The speaker remained. So did the machine mind and the six-limbed counselor. None of them spoke at first. "The human spoke with confidence," said the glass-skinned counselor at last. That is unusual for a young species. Confidence does not change data, the six-limbed one replied. They survive, yes. That does not make them important. The machine mind processed silently. Then it spoke. The human requested a recount. That request is statistically rare. Rare does not mean valid, the six-limbed counselor said. Correct, said the machine mind, but refusal carries risk. The speaker turned slightly. Explain. Young species observe how the council treats them, the machine mind said. If the council appears careless, trust declines. The speaker considered this. We will review, it said. Limited scope. The six-limbed counselor made an annoyed clicking sound, but did not object. Far away on Earth, the reaction continued to grow. News channels replayed the council meeting again and again. The word cockroach appeared in headlines across languages and regions. Some spoke with anger, some laughed, some felt quiet fear. In a small apartment in Mumbai, an old engineer watched the broadcast with his granddaughter. He shook his head slowly. They do not understand, he said. What? The girl asked. How hard it is to keep going, he replied. In a farming town in South America, people joked about printing cockroaches on flags. In space stations above Earth, workers painted small insect symbols near airlocks, half in humor, half in pride. Human networks filled with discussion. Are we weak? Are we dangerous? Are they afraid? In a secure building beneath the mountains, human analysts studied the council's released data. Screens showed alien models of human behavior. They think we stop after losing a planet, one analyst said. Another laughed softly. We barely stop after losing a city. Charts showed council assumptions. Limited war tolerance. Centralized leadership failure. Psychological collapse under mass loss. A woman in a white coat leaned back. These models are wrong. How wrong? Someone asked. She paused, enough to get someone killed. On the council's side, the recount began. The machine mind opened archived human data. It added new inputs provided by Earth, full records, no filters. Wars, plagues, natural disasters, recovery timelines. The machine mind adjusted variables. The first simulation ran. Humanity faced a planetary impact. Earth was lost. Expected outcome, extinction. Actual result, colonies survived. Fragmented populations adapted. Technology slowed, then advanced again. The machine mind paused. It ran the simulation again. This time, humanity faced invasion by a stronger force. Expected outcome, surrender after leadership loss. Actual result, resistance continued without central command. Small groups fought on. Supply lines failed, but human forces adapted using enemy tools. The machine mind recorded the results. Across the hall, the six-limbed counselor reviewed a summary. This must be an error, it said. The glass-skinned counselor tilted its head, or our assumptions are flawed. The six-limbed one stiffened. Our models have guided the galaxy for ages. And yet, the glass-skinned counselor replied, we have never modeled a species like this. Another simulation completed. Human population reduced by 80%. Time to collapse unknown. Time to recovery, longer than average but successful. The speaker watched the results in silence. These outcomes were not weighted, the machine mind said. They were ignored. Why? Asked the speaker. Because persistence was categorized as low threat, the machine mind replied. A classification bias. The speaker dimmed slightly. Meanwhile, Ambassador Elaine Carter returned to Earth. She stood before a global assembly not of leaders but of representatives chosen at random. Farmers, teachers, engineers, soldiers, students. She told them the truth. They think we survive by accident, she said. They think we endure because we are simple. The room was quiet. They are wrong, she continued. We endure because we choose to, every day. No cheers followed, just steady attention. Elaine ended with a warning. The recount may change nothing, or it may change everything. Either way, we must be ready. Ready for what? Someone asked. Elaine paused, to be seen clearly. In the council hall, rumors spread. Smaller species noticed delays in classification updates. Analysts whispered about unusual simulations. Some feared that the council had made a mistake. A trade world sent a quiet message to Earth. Just one line. Are you dangerous? Earth did not reply. The machine mind completed a deeper run. This time, it allowed human strategy to evolve. Humans learned. Humans copied. Humans adapted faster than expected. In several simulations, humans did not win. But they never stopped. The machine mind flagged the results. Potential underestimation. High long-term impact. The six-limbed counselor reacted sharply. We cannot allow panic. Information spreads regardless, said the glass-skinned counselor. The speaker made a decision. Restrict the data, it said. Classify the recount as internal. The machine mind hesitated. That may increase suspicion. Do it, the speaker said. But information did spread. A fragment leaked, just numbers, no explanation. Persistence index revised upward. Threat index under review. Across the galaxy, curious minds noticed. On Earth, analysts saw it at once. They are scared, one said. No, another replied. They are uncertain. That's worse. Elaine Carter received a secure message. The recount was real, but limited. She looked at the screen for a long time. Then she sent one message back. We will provide more data. All of it. In the council hall, the speaker felt a growing pressure. The hall itself seemed less calm. We may have misnamed them, the glass-skinned counselor said quietly. The six-limbed one did not reply. Far from both Earth and the council, another power listened. A rival empire watched the data shifts and the quiet fear. They studied one word. Cockroach. Hard to kill. They began to plan. And the recount was no longer just a matter of pride. The recount did not stay quiet for long. Even sealed data leaves traces. A number changes here. A delay appears there. Across the galaxy, those who watched the council closely began to notice the pattern. Something about Earth was being reconsidered. On a small trade world near council space, a merchant paused while reading a data feed. He frowned. The human classification had not moved, yet several linked values had shifted upward. Survival margins, recovery curves, resistance duration. That is strange, he said aloud. His assistant leaned closer. Humans. Yes, the merchant replied. The pests. The word no longer sounded certain. In the council hall, the machine mind continued its work. It no longer ran short tests. It ran long ones. It allowed centuries to pass inside its calculations. It simulated hunger. It simulated fear. It simulated loss beyond reason. Humans bent but did not break. In one run, Earth burned. In another, Earth froze. In a third, Earth was stripped bare by war. Each time, the species scattered, adapted, and rebuilt. The machine mind recorded a new note. Persistence is not passive. Across the hall, the six-limbed counselor reviewed the latest report. Its limbs trembled slightly, a sign of stress among its kind. These outcomes assume irrational behavior, it said. The glass-skinned counselor responded calmly. They assume emotional behavior. That is the same thing, the six-limbed one snapped. No, the glass-skinned counselor replied. It is not. The speaker observed both. "We will hear the next result," it said. The machine mind displayed a new simulation. Humans faced a superior empire. The enemy controlled space. The enemy destroyed human fleets. The enemy shattered colonies. Human response was uneven. There was panic. There was loss. Then there was learning. Human groups stopped fighting as one force. They broke apart, small units, independent cells, no single failure point. They copied enemy technology, not perfectly but fast. They used old ships in new ways. They turned civilian tools into weapons. They hid among debris and ruins. The war lasted longer than expected. Much longer. The enemy won many battles. They never won the war. The simulation ended. Silence followed. "This is not dominance," the six-limbed counselor said quickly. "This is nuisance." The machine mind replied, "Nuisance that does not end becomes attrition." The speaker dimmed slightly. "Enough," it said. "Prepare a summary, restricted access." The glass-skinned counselor hesitated. "Other species will notice." "They already have," the speaker replied. On Earth the mood shifted. The jokes faded. The anger cooled into focus. Human governments did not issue threats. They did not issue demands. Instead, they opened archives. Not carefully chosen ones. All of them. Wars lost. Mistakes made. Disasters caused by human hands. And what came after? Rebuilding. Learning. Trying again. Historians worked beside engineers. Psychologists worked beside soldiers. They did not hide their scars. They showed them. "This is who we are," Elaine Carter said during a quiet address sent to the council. "Not because we are proud of it, because it is true." The message was received. It was not answered. In the council hall, the machine mind integrated the new data. Human recovery speed increased. Human cooperation under threat rose. Human morale curves behaved differently from known species. They dropped sharply, then stabilized, then rose. "This is unusual," the machine mind noted. The glass-skinned counselor watched the graphs. "They accept loss as normal." "Correction," the machine mind said. "They accept loss as temporary." The six-limbed counselor felt a chill. Beyond council space, the rival empire watched closely. They were old. They were strong. They had crushed many species before. They reviewed the same leaked numbers. They listened to the same whispers. Persistence. Hard to kill. The empire's strategists debated. "One strike ends it," said one. "Or begins something worse," said another. They chose caution. They chose a probe. A small test. A silent act. Near the edge of human space, a listening post went dark. On Earth, alarms did not sound. But data moved. Human networks noticed the gap. Not panic, not anger. Curiosity. Elaine Carter was informed within minutes. "A test," she said quietly. "From who?" asked an aide. Elaine shook her head. "It does not matter yet." She sent no reply. Instead, human systems adjusted, routes shifted, signals rerouted, old protocols reactivated. Nothing dramatic. Nothing obvious. But the silence around the lost post changed. The rival empire's probe found nothing more. No retaliation. No weakness. Only absence. Back in the council hall, tension grew. Smaller species sent inquiries. Is Earth safe? Is the classification correct? Should we prepare? The speaker delayed answers. The machine mind ran another simulation. This time, humans were given allies. Weak ones. Scared ones. Species that had failed before. Human behavior shifted. They shared resources. They trained others. They took losses to protect allies. The final outcome surprised the machine mind. Human survival probability increased. Ally survival probability increased even more. The machine mind added another note. Humans change environments. The six-limbed counselor stared at the result. They are still not refined, it said. No, the glass-skinned counselor replied. They are something else. The speaker rose. The recount has reached a critical point, it said. We will reconvene. Publicly, asked the six-limbed one. The speaker paused. Yes, it said. Across the galaxy, notices went out. Emergency Council Session. Subject Earth. On Earth, the message arrived at dawn. Elaine Carter read it alone. She did not smile. She did not relax. She only nodded. They are ready to look, she said. Outside, the world moved on. People worked. Children learned. Ships launched. Humanity did not wait for permission. In deep space, the rival empire adjusted its plans. Observation turned to concern. Concern edged toward fear. They had tested many species. Most reacted. Humans had adapted. Back in the council hall, the blue image of Earth returned. It looked small. It looked fragile. The machine mind knew better. And for the first time in a very long age, the Galactic Council prepared to admit that it might have been wrong. The emergency session drew attention from across the galaxy. Species that rarely listened tuned in. Worlds that had never cared about Earth now watched closely. The council hall filled again, brighter than before, its walls alive with moving symbols and flowing light. The speaker stood at the center, calm but alert. The machine mind was connected to deeper systems than usual. The six-limbed counselor arrived early and restless. The glass-skinned counselor arrived last and quiet. The image of Earth appeared once more. Small. Blue. Familiar now. The emergency session is called to order, the speaker said. Subject, the human species of Earth. Murmurs moved through the hall. Before discussion, the speaker continued, the recount summary will be presented. The machine mind activated. Data flowed. Not all of it. Enough. Initial classification underestimated long-term impact, the machine mind said. Revised analysis shows elevated persistence, adaptive strategy, and unexpected influence on allied systems. Charts appeared. Lines rose slowly but did not fall. Humanity demonstrates high tolerance for loss, the machine mind continued. Decentralized response patterns, rapid learning under pressure. A counselor from a water world pulsed with color. They still destroy their own environment. Yes, the machine mind replied, and repair it. Another counselor spoke, they fight each other. Yes, the machine mind said again, and unite when threatened. The six-limbed counselor struck the floor with one limb. This does not make them superior. No, said the glass-skinned counselor softly, it makes them difficult. The speaker raised a limb. The council will now hear from the human representative. Elaine Carter's platform activated. She stood alone as before, same uniform, same calm posture. Ambassador Elaine Carter, she said, representative of Earth. She looked around the hall. You called us persistent, she said. You compared us to something that survives because it is small. She paused. We survive because we refuse to stop. Some counselors shifted. You have reviewed our wars, Elaine continued. Our failures, our mistakes. You have seen our worst moments. She did not deny them. You did not ask why we kept going. The six-limbed counselor spoke. Why should that matter? Elaine answered at once. Because intent changes outcomes. She raised her wrist. New images appeared, human rescue efforts, medical teams in ruins, engineers rebuilding bridges, farmers planting again in broken soil. When we fall, Elaine said, we argue, we grieve, we fight, then we stand up. The glass-skinned counselor watched closely. We do not claim perfection, Elaine said. We claim endurance. A counselor from a hive species clicked sharply. Endurance without control leads to chaos. Elaine nodded, and chaos leads to change. The speaker waited. Elaine took a breath. We did not ask for praise, we asked for accuracy. She lowered her hand. That is all. The platform dimmed. Silence followed. Then the council spoke. Arguments rose. Some said the classification should stand. Some said it should change. Some warned of danger. Others warned of fear. The machine mind listened. Outside the council, events moved faster. The rival empire watched the session with sharp focus. They had tested humans once. The lack of response had unsettled them. Now the council hesitated. That was weakness. A decision was made. Not a full attack. A lesson. Far from Earth, near a quiet human trade route, ships appeared. They were fast. They were precise. They struck a human relay station. The station did not fight back. It went dark. Signals stopped. In the council hall, the machine mind detected the event at the same time as human systems. A hostile action has occurred, it announced. Murmurs turned into alarm. Elaine Carter received the alert on her wrist. She did not react. She did not speak. Human systems shifted. Not toward attack. Toward awareness. Nearby ships changed course. Old satellites woke from standby. Civilian traffic rerouted calmly. No message was sent to the rival empire. No threat was issued. The six-limbed counselor leaned forward. They are under attack, it said. They will respond. They already are, said the machine mind. What do you mean? Containment, the machine mind replied. Information isolation, resource redistribution, civil defense activation. The glass-skinned counselor felt unease. They are treating this as normal, it said. Yes, said the machine mind, they have experience. The rival empire waited for fear. They waited for anger. They waited for weakness. Instead, their sensors filled with noise. Human signals flooded space. Old codes, new paths, false trails. The Empire's ships found targets harder to track. Supply lines stretched. Time passed. The Empire commander frowned. This was not expected. Humans are dispersing, an aide said, not gathering. Then strike again, the commander ordered. The second strike failed. Not because of weapons. Because of absence. The targets were gone. In the council hall, tension rose. This is escalation, a counselor cried. No, said the machine mind, this is testing. Elaine Carter spoke again. We will not strike back, she said, unless we must. The six-limbed counselor stared. You invite further attack. Elaine shook her head. We deny satisfaction. The speaker considered this. Across human space, people adjusted. Factories shifted production. Hospitals prepared. Children practiced drills they already knew. There was fear, but it did not spread. The rival empire launched a third probe. This time humans followed it. They did not destroy it. They mapped it. They learned. The probe returned. With nothing gained. In the council hall, the machine mind updated projections. Enemy confidence declined. Human readiness increased. This pattern, the glass-skinned counselor said slowly, is not survival. The speaker looked at the data. It is control, it said. The six-limbed counselor was silent. The rival empire began to argue among itself. "What are they?" one asked. "Too calm," said another. "They should fear us. They should fight." "They are waiting," the commander said. "And waiting makes us tired." In the council hall, a vote approached. Reclassification, delay, or warning. The speaker raised a limb. "The council must decide," it said. Elaine Carter stood still. She did not ask. She did not threaten. She trusted. Far away, human systems continued their quiet work. No cheers. No speeches. Just preparation. The galaxy watched. And for the first time, many understood that being hard to kill was only the beginning. The council hall was silent. The vote had not yet begun, but everyone felt its weight. The air shimmered with translation fields, yet no one spoke. The image of Earth still floated at the center, turning slowly, calm and blue. The speaker broke the silence. "The council will now decide the future classification of the human species," it said. Light shifted across the hall as voting systems activated. Counselors prepared their inputs, but hesitation slowed them. Never before had a young species forced this much doubt. Before the first vote could be cast, the machine mind spoke. "New data," it said. The words froze the room. "Source?" asked the speaker. "Multiple," the machine mind replied. "Human space and rival empire space." Images appeared. The rival empire's probe fleets were pulling back. Supply routes collapsed. Command relays went dark. "They are retreating," a counselor whispered. "No," said the glass-skinned counselor, "they are failing." The machine mind confirmed it. Human counteraction has not been direct, no fleet engagement detected. "Then what happened?" demanded the six-limbed counselor. "Humans disrupted logistics, exposed internal corruption and redirected information flows," the machine mind said. "The rival empire is fighting itself." Shock spread through the hall. Elaine Carter stood quietly on her platform. The speaker turned toward her. "Ambassador," it said, "did Earth plan this?" Elaine met its gaze. "We planned to survive," she said. "Everything else followed." The council absorbed this. The machine mind continued. Human action avoided civilian loss, no planetary damage recorded. A counselor from a fragile species pulsed with relief. "They ended a threat," it said, "without conquest." "Yes," the machine mind replied, "without dominance." The six-limbed counselor lowered its limbs slowly. "This is not pest behavior." "No," said the glass-skinned counselor, "it is restraint." Outside the council hall, the galaxy reacted. Smaller species sent messages to Earth. Some were cautious, some hopeful, some afraid. Earth answered none of them. Not yet. On Earth, life continued. Cities worked. Ships launched. Children went to school. Most people never knew how close the moment was. The speaker raised a limb. "The vote will proceed," it said. Light pulsed as each counselor cast their decision. The machine mind counted. The result formed slowly. Then clearly. "Classification change approved," the machine mind announced. The hall stirred. The old designation faded. A new one appeared. Not predator. Not prey. Not pest. The speaker spoke the words aloud. "Class Omega," it said, "irrepressible civilization." A pause followed. "A species that cannot be eradicated," the speaker continued, "only accommodated." The words spread across the galaxy. Elaine Carter closed her eyes for a brief moment. Then she nodded. "The Council acknowledges error," the speaker said, "and offers formal apology to Earth." Gasps echoed. An apology from the Council was unheard of. Elaine answered calmly, "Earth accepts." The six-limbed counselor spoke, its voice low. "Why did you not strike back when attacked?" Elaine replied, "Because survival does not require revenge." The glass-skinned counselor asked softly, "What do you want now?" Elaine looked at the image of Earth. "Accuracy," she said, "and space to build." The speaker inclined its form. "Granted." Across the galaxy, fear slowly changed shape. It became respect. In rival empire space, leaders fell, systems stabilized, borders closed. The empire would recover, but it would remember. On Earth, the broadcast reached the public. People listened quietly. Some smiled. Some laughed. Some returned to work. There were no parades. No victory cries. Just a shared understanding. They had been seen. In the days that followed, human embassies appeared on distant worlds. Simple structures. Open doors. No threats. Trade began. Knowledge flowed. Humans did not rule. They connected. The machine mind updated its core records. Humans altered probability fields. They changed outcomes by refusing to end. The six-limbed counselor watched Earth data one last time. "They were never small," it said. "They were persistent," replied the glass-skinned counselor. "No," the six-limbed one corrected. "They were patient." The speaker closed the session. "The galaxy will adapt," it said. Far away, human ships traveled onward. Not as conquerors. Not as victims. But as a species that had learned long ago how to live through fire. The word cockroach faded from memory. What remained was something stronger. A truth the galaxy would not forget. Humanity stayed.